Gedalia that of
I'm back to fine. What'd you say?
the Zum Gedalia of the week of the Oslo Accords. Rav Aritzal Basic felt you should fast full 24 hours.
It was a little choppy. We couldn't make it out. Could you say that again, please, Dr. Fine?
The Zum Gedalia of the week with the Oslo Accords were signed. Rav Aritzal Basic held that you should fast the full 24 hours because of the Ace Surah.
Anybody make it out? The connection is not good. We weren't able.
Maybe you'll put on the WhatsApp afterwards if you have time.
Okay.
Put it on the
Okay.
chat. When you have time.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. We're on Daf Chaf Gimel. And yesterday we learned about Eishim Shemamot, Eishim Shemachitzav. But just a little problem came up. We finished the sugi yesterday. We passed an Eishim Shemachitzav. And even if it's not Chitzav, it is also Mamono. That's how it came out yesterday. Just a little problem. While I was saying it yesterday, I got confused. And I just tried to be involved today with the Pinchas. So just the confusion is, when we say Eishim Shemachitzav, is it only when the person lit the fire? When you say Eishim Shemachitzav, it's hard to say that only when you light a fire is that called your arrow. But if a fire happened, electrical or whatever, something happened, and even though you were able to watch it and you could have stopped it, is that called your arrow? The Gemara has two studies on what fire is. Is fire called your arrow, or is it called your property? You're responsible to take care of it. So the Gemara said that Rabbi Yochanan holds Eishim Shemachitzav. It's hard to say. It only means if you made the fire. You made the fire, so you shot an arrow. But if you didn't make the fire, it happened. The fire happened.
It just happened like if the wall fell down, then it happened.
Without walls, without any walls, the fire. You're talking about the wall which was containing the fire. How about the fire? How did the fire come to be? Was it because he lit a match, or was it because
lightning struck?
Lightning struck. And there's a tzad to say that the only considered his arrow only if he lit it. Then the Gemara would have said that the whole machlokus is only in the case where he lit it. If he didn't light it, because he doesn't consider it his money the whole time till the Gemara at the end. So Taisus in the beginning of the sugi says that lav dafka. It doesn't have to be dafka if he lit it. Even if he didn't light it, also is considered his arrow. The fact that he didn't contain it.
Wow.
Okay, so that's good. That we hold even if lightning struck, and he didn't, and he could have stopped it.
Maybe he didn't even know it happened. Maybe he didn't know.
Okay,
supposed to
I think we all decide cases. In the case where he knew,
about like lightning struck in his house.
Right, and he sees it running to go to the house, and he doesn't, and he just lets it go.
Right, and that's called chitzah. According to Yochanan, that's called his arrow. The fact that he didn't stop it is called his arrow. He didn't make it. It's called his arrow. According to Shlosh, it's not called the arrow. It's called his property. And he has to watch the same way he has to watch his shore. He has to watch his property. Nice. But yesterday's Gemara got me confused because when the Gemara wants to say a case that it's not a chitz, it says here that a fire happened and there was a wall. So since there was a wall, so it's not an arrow because the arrow was going to stop by the wall. But then the wall fell down, and he could have stopped it, and he didn't stop it. Then it's not called the arrow; it's called his property. So I didn't understand that. The same way we say that the first time when he didn't make the fire, it's his arrow because he didn't protect it, he didn't stop it. So also when the wall falls down, till now it was contained. Now it's not contained. So now it should become his arrow. The Gemara doesn't think so. The Gemara says this case that there was a wall. And also says Naflat Leka. Naflat Leka, the fire happened. Didn't mean they didn't make the fire. Naflat Leka, and there was a wall. But then the wall fell down. And then when it was mazik, that's called Kololo Chitzav. And it's not called his chayz. And the Gemara says the only reason why it's chayv is because it's also mamono. The Gemara says no, he also has mamono also. But mitzad chitzim, it wouldn't be his chayz. So I'm confused. If you say that every fire that he didn't make, it happened by itself, but it's his responsibility to watch. It's called his chayz. So also, if it was contained and the container fell down, and now it's not contained, so now it should become his chayz. So I didn't get clarity on that.
And when the wall falls down, it's in his chatzir.
And he could stop it, and he didn't. He has a fire extinguisher. He doesn't have it. He doesn't stop it. So it's not called his chayz. And the only reason why it's chayv is because of Yochanan agrees to Shlokish that it's also his mama. So then, why in the beginning is it called his chayz? If the fire happened without him making the fire, if he says only when he made the fire, then I could say he made the fire. That's his chayz, and there was a wall over there, so it's not a chayz. And then if it falls down, you want to know why is it chayv? You have to say because mamona. But if you say that not making the fire, just being responsible for a fire, is enough to make it considered your chayes. So what's the difference if it was contained and now it got discontained? Now the container fell down, the wall fell down, uncontained. So now you should make that it should become a chayes. So I didn't get that point in the Gemara, but it does seem to be this yisod is true that Eishim Mishum Chitzav, even if he didn't make it, even if he just was responsible, the fire happened, an electrical, whatever, something happened, a spark happened, and it became a fire, so he's responsible for it. It's called chitzim. And everything we said yesterday, that he's chayiv for his animals chayiv, he's chayiv for killing somebody with that kind of a chayitz, he's chayiv david vorim, he's chayiv antom, and all those things stay the same thing. That it's called his chayitz, even if he didn't make it, he was responsible for it. The one is one case that it's not called chitza when there was a war. And that I don't understand that case either. Why is it not called his chayitz? That was the end of yesterday's Gemara. And we're up to Daf Chav Gimel. Allah Charor Mishal Nezik Shalom. And on the Gadish, he pays Chazi Nezik. Whose case, the same story again. There was a dog that took a cookie and had a gechelas on it, had a coal, and he ate the cookie, and then the coal caused the fire. We had a machlokas if it means that he threw it or he put it down and the fire spread. Is he chayiv for the whole spreading? The fire will go like Rabbi Yochanan. He placed the fire, he placed it down, and he's chayiv nezik shalom for the spot that got burnt, and then the rest of the continuation of the fire is called tzroros, and he's chayiv chatzin nezik. Okay, so we have an and he ate the cookie. So chayiv nezik shalom the cookie because it's regular shane. That's simple. And for the gachelis, burning is chayiv chatzin nezik. And I'll go ahead because of tzroros. I just realized today, I saw in my notes that the Gemara did entertain enough. The Gemara entertained the possibility that the reason why it's chatzin nezik is because she's Karen. There's also not a possibility for the whole mission, not because of tzroros, but because of Karen.
What with the fire?
The fire, that there's a shina b'gecheles, that somehow he did a shinui, and when he caused the fire, he did it like Rashi says over there, putting the gecheles in his mouth. That's not expected. That's the mishuna. He doesn't put the gecheles in his mouth, and then you can learn the whole thing. It's nothing to do with tzroros. Means the whole Gemara that made a whole big tumble over here with your shlokish and Yochanan. Why is the chatzin nezik tzroros? You could learn not because of tzroros. You can learn it's because it was mishuna. But the Gemara doesn't talk about that. Gemara talks about tzroros. How's the Yochanan learns tzroros? How's Rish Lakish learns tzroros? Okay, so it says that it's chayiv nezik shalom for the charora and chatzin nezik for the gadish. Man chayiv bal kelab. Who's the one who has to pay for the gadish? The bal kelab. He caused the fire. He took the gecheles. He made a fire. Well, the chayiv nami bal gecheles. Why is the owner of the gecheles also not taking part responsibility? Which means that the kelab made a fire, but he took somebody's coal. It could be he took even the owner's coal, the owner of the field. He came to Ruvain's door, came to Shimon's field, and Shimon was making a barbecue over there and making latkes, whatever, this charora, and there was a coal, and he brought down Shimon's field. And then Shimon comes to him and says, your dog made a fire. So he said, where did you get the fire from? Because you were having a barbecue over there, and you didn't wash your coal, so it's your fault also. Is that a nice timer? What would you say to that? Anybody have an opinion? Shimon is has a fire in his backyard, and Ruvain's door comes in.
Did they have like with the kid that the house was born to go out, wherever he was. He would have gone out, and it was only because of the dog.
The case that you gave the Gechela.
Okay, let's say that to the Shota.
Then it's considered it would have gone down. It's not called a mazik until the Shota did something with it. Okay, but let's say this is a burning coal. Let's say it's a shalev. Let's avoid the point. Let's say that it was Amsha fire, and he says, "My dog took your fire, but your fire was he didn't protect your fire, so it's partly your fault." That seems to be the Gemara's problem. Then how come the owner of the dog
in the firemaker's property?
Shouldn't have come in. But don't you know that dogs come into properties?
When it says,
yeah, it's okay, but I'm not high for the damages. You can say,
if you have a fire that can be taken away, it's like you have a fire that a wind could come.
I had
maybe
control the dog.
But don't you know that dogs come into people's fields and it's like a wind? It's like a ruch mitsuya that these things happen. That's what the Gemara seems to. That's what the Gemara seems to say. I'm sorry, let's have to try it. Hello. Okay, sorry. I just have to be on call, so I'm sorry that
you give us Nami Bal Gehelas because Shimur Gehelas.
You said the answer already. The L'chayiv Nami Bal Gehelas, period, question mark. That the Bal Gehelas also is partially responsible. The Gemara makes it sound a little bit like it's a different ballgame, that it's not the same person, but let's say the owner of the field is the Bala Gechelas. He also should take part of the responsibility. Why did you leave your Gechelas unattended? If you would have been,
That's what I thought.
and
Bishim or Gehalas.
that's the answer, really. That's the answer. You're holding in the answer. You have to stop here. Right here in the kasha. The
We
kasha is the
understand that means he should have guarded it.
yeah, you should be high because you're irresponsible. You left your coal unguarded, and then my dog came and ate you and took your gechelas and made a fire. Then you have kindness on me. How about you? You also were irresponsible. That's true. I was irresponsible. I let my dog run around, came into your field, took the gechelas, but you also left the field gechelas unattended, and that's why my dog came. If you would have watched it, my dog wouldn't have come. So you should also share half responsibilities or something like that.
Okay.
Chaim David is not that big. Chaim David says,
Why was he making that? Because he wasn't looking at every second with every.
But you notice a fire over there. You have to watch your fire. You do know dogs come around.
But to the kachar, he's going to pay half a field of his neighbor.
Yeah. Okay, that's a question. Well, every time someone makes a fire, and if he made a fire over there and the wind came, he does have to pay for the whole damage.
The wind.
So a dog is also like a wind. That's
If
it's a normal.
my own dog, you can blame.
If it's a normal thing that dogs run around. Don't you know dogs run around? I'm not.
Yeah,
You haven't been to John Soccer?
I'm taking the Gemara side.
You haven't been to John Soccer recently?
Dogs run around.
yeah.
It's not normal that dogs take
Their dogs
fire.
and their cold. Lots of.
What is that, Dr. Fine?
It's not normal that dogs take fire.
Gates.
No, it's not normal. Dogs take cookies that have fires connected to them. It's true. He
but
wouldn't, Dr. Fine is saying he wouldn't take a gechelas, but he takes a cookie and the cookie has a coal on it, so you have to watch your coal, which is attached to a cookie, which dogs take. You could argue Chaim David's point that maybe it's not such a wind, but the Gemara seems to consider it a normal wind, and just like winds come, so dogs come. And you have to
The
watch.
dog doesn't know that I'm assuming the dog doesn't know the coal is dangerous for him.
But that's not the point. He takes cookies.
Right, I'm saying if it would have been the cookie on fire, he probably would not have took it.
Yeah, so that was the case. Huh?
The dog doesn't have enough instinct.
Dogs not-
Okay, but what he did was a normal thing. He took the cookie. That's normal. And now, so the fact that the dog came into my rishus, and David saying, "Why did you come to my rishus for?" It's true, but we tell to the Bala Gechelas, you know that dog's coming. So I'm just saying what the Gemara seems to say.
Okay.
And the Gemara answers a good question. That we only put the whole build on the Bala Kelev if the Bala Gechelas did watch his coal. If he didn't watch his coal, then he'd have to suffer part of the damages
The
also.
answer is that he did watch it.
He did only if he watched it. And the only case that the Baal Kelev has to take the whole bill is only if the Baal Gechelas washes Gechelas. But if he didn't, then the Baal Kelev says that you also have to share in part of the responsibility because it was your fault also.
That doesn't make sense to me exactly.
Why not?
Okay, I'm making my barbecue. And I see it, and you said, "Well, did you watch your gechelas? How could you let it burn up the meat?
How could you let a dog
How could
in
you let a dog
come in and take the
He
gechelas?
said, I know, I was watching the gechelas. I watched the dog come and take it. I watched him do it.
No, Shima doesn't mean he doesn't watch it. It means it's like the Mashgiach. The Mashgiach sits over there in the egg factory. I'm watching everything, but you're not doing it.
Everything.
That means you have to do something about it. Mashgiach means that you look and you also take action.
The shimur gechelas.
He watched. He did everything you have to do. He did everything. He did everything. You have to do. He watched it.
Just watched kids once the kids.
That's what we want, yeah.
So he watched the fellas. It was taken care of, and the dog couldn't have gotten it.
No, you spritz the dog when you spray out.
Oh, that's the most gosh, very good.
What?
That's good. Even Shishima Gechalta, my boy Kelafasam, how did the dog get in? If he was doing a good job in watching the Gechalas, then it was dog proof. So how did the dog Lamaisa get it?
He went through the fence.
Vishachata. Oh, very nice. That's the Gemara's answer that he dug through the fence.
Right, but that's not my fault. I didn't know that the dog's gonna break through the
The
fence.
dog.
Who are you?
Thank
Who
you.
made the owner of the house?
The owner of
I'm the making
Which
the-
word?
the-
Tatar?
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
why you're okay. That's the Gemara's answer. That it's only okay if you did a good job in watching your coal.
I think.
And you had a fence around it,
Right.
and the dog under the fence, and that's how you got it. But I did enough. I did my job. But now we turn to the owner of the dog and say, "Why did you let the dog go in?" So he said, "You didn't see there's a fence over there. Why should I?"
What did I have to do? I was in my
If he
job.
made a fence, and he says he's innocent because he made a fence, so why am I guilty? The Gemara doesn't have this problem. The Gemara doesn't have this problem.
Well, they're doing more.
But I think Chaim David is asking it. I'm not sure. Oh no, you didn't. I asked it. That if he made a fence and the Bava Kamma says I'm innocent,
and you know that it's going into somebody else's.
I didn't see my dog digging.
You didn't see it.
But I know that my gay neighbor has fence around his goal.
Everything's okay.
And I'm okay.
I know that the dog was here.
So you are responsible to watch that your dog should not dig holes. You are responsible. So the Bala Kelep, we tell him you're negligent because even though there's a fence, you have to know that dogs. That is the next tomorrow. Amr Mori Breder Akana, so Samaris. Okay, that's so Samaris Kestam Rosas Khatur Senesal Kelep. That dogs are the doors are considered dug up by dogs. That dogs, it's the nature of dogs to dig under a wall, and don't consider it that your dog is not gonna damage because it has a fence around it, because dogs do go under, but the Bala Gechela still has the Ptor. I mean, the Gemara doesn't change that. The Bala Gechela says, I'm innocent, I washed my Gechelas because I put a fence around it. Even though dogs do dig under, I did enough. But the Bala Kelev can't say I did enough because dogs do dig under. So it's very interesting. The Gemara doesn't make a deal out of it. The Gemara doesn't point out there's a difference, but that's what the Gemara is saying. That for the Bala Gecheles, it is considered enough of a shmir that he made a fence around it, even though the dogs might dig under. If you left it open and dogs walk straight up, that's considered like a rule of Matsuya, and you didn't watch your fire, and you're responsible, at least partial, you're going to be accomplice with the dog. But if he made a fence around it, so he's innocent, he did enough of a shmira. But Bala Kelev didn't do enough of a shmira, since dogs do dig under. And that's the end of the Gemara.
That's interesting, right?
It's interesting. And it's one thing that the Gemara doesn't even make a deal out of it. Doesn't say, tell me the lumdus a difference. What's the point? How do you say it? What's the interesting?
The person has to watch his door, taking more things into consideration. And the person who's making the fire, even though he has to watch it, the dog shouldn't come in. But not.
Besides,
Some properties have different shmiros. It's just simple.
it's the same thing. How much is the dog? How much chance is a dog's going to dig under?
That's
If
what
you're the
dogs do.
yes, if you're the Bala
Depends on
dog,
the dog
you have-
breed, but there's certain dogs burrow. That's
okay, okay, that's talking about. So the owner of the dog, we tell him you didn't do enough shmira because you know your dog. But the owner of the coal, we say it's good enough.
Because coals
Not
don't burrow.
No, the dogs burrow. The wind, the dog is a wind. Is a ruch matsuya. Your coal is in danger of being spread because you know that dogs come and burrow under walls. So how could you say that's protected because you made a well?
We know that dogs burrow, and yet still I did a good enough shmiros.
Yes, but the owner of the dog did not do enough shmir on his dog. You happy with that? Why for the dog? Okay, the Gemara
I
happy.
do with the gechelas, the shmir of the gechelas.
Yes, you're right. But how are you washing the gechelas? From dogs. You have to wash from dogs also, not just from winds. A dog is also a wind. So the fact that you made a fence around your coal is considered protected from dogs. Because he's not going to go straight through the fence. But he might go under the fence. I did enough. But the owner of the dog didn't do enough.
That makes sense.
What? Does that make sense?
Since dog, he has more responsibility.
But it's your fire. You have to watch your fire shouldn't spread.
True. Yeah, but it's contact with dog, I think that.
No, but here's don't want the dog. Your fire is going to spread by the dog. But you see it. You see the Gemara. Okay, the Gemara. You're on the Gemara side.
The boar's on Moshe's side.
Yeah.
You happy?
Yeah. End of sugya.
One has more responsibility than because it's his dog, so he should know that he's gonna fall under whatever. And he should.
Well, somebody else who doesn't own the dog doesn't know if the dog might crawl under and get his call.
Okay, but it's I guess it's the owner. If you own the dog, that's you better make sure that
Rebbe, is it possible that's a kanas for owning a dog?
your dog.
Nothing's wrong with owning a dog. Nothing's wrong with owning a dog.
I thought a Jewish
Well,
home's
why
not
should you
supposed to have a
kanas?
dog.
Why not? Why not?
No, it says-
Shmuel had a dog.
I have a dog. What's the problem? I need to have a dog. Yes, yeah, dogs.
Only
Don't worry. I'm catching up.
A dangerous dog. Ari, you're talking about a dangerous dog. A dangerous dog, it says you're not supposed to be a killer bra. A
How do
dangerous
you
dog.
find a dangerous dog?
How do you have a dangerous
How
dog?
do you find a dangerous dog? Which dog is dangerous and which not?
Oh, that it's good. The Mazik people.
All dogs come out.
I gotta stick
Uh,
with
Did
it.
it after that.
All the dog owners, they say, what's the problem? It's a little dog. What do you want? What's the problem? If
I
it's a dog,
thought,
that's a kilogram means that it's a dangerous dog.
I don't get it. They say the story. Who just said a story there?
but also if
Mike
you
said it.
sell a dog,
There was-
you can't use that money for anything kadosh.
Yeah, nothing's wrong. You don't know. Not no. You can't for carbon. You can't buy a carbon with when you exchange a sheep for a dog. So that sheep is called a mechir kelev. You're not allowed to use that animal for a carbon. But money, I don't think anything on the money. The money's not a problem. There's nothing wrong with having a dog. It's a what do you call that? Culture. In certain communities that don't have dogs, that's because it's a culture and depends in the city, whatever. The Gemara people had dogs. They didn't bring them into the bedroom. You know, they didn't let them into the house. They stayed outside with the sheep, and they have whatever they do outside. Not to make it part of the family. That's what you mean. That it's not
Right, outside, I understand's okay. From I always left it outside, but I thought bringing it in the house is a problem.
It means that don't make it part of the family. It's in the culture that they make the dogs part of the family. That's the idea. But
I got called into the Menachel's office. And this tiny was Sitra Achra. Sitra Achra.
so is Gemara and Erevin the Shmuel had a dog.
Go back.
Where were you when I went? Sitra Achra.
And a donkey and a horse. Why is only a dog a sitra? What's with the horse and the donkey?
I think I say that the caleb is more. I think it's something you can.
Okay, I don't know. If you have sheep, you have a dog. Like if you have sheep, you have a dog. You know, you have to take care of the dog. Okay. Okay. New Gemara. Next Gemara. So what is the Mishnah story? There's a very interesting Gemara coming up. I'm not going to say any explanation just because the Gemara doesn't like. The Gemara makes it very flavor, very exciting, very provocative Gemara. So I'm not going to say anything. The real reason is because I don't know the answer. But there is a shot, but we'll get to the end of the Gemara, and everybody can jump up as much as they like. So, what's the case in the Mishnah? The dog ate the cookie,
He
ate the cookie, and the coal caused the fire. And he's chayv nezek shalom on the cookie, and chatzin nezek for the fire. Where does all this happen? Where did it happen? Where did this whole scenario happen?
I thought it happened in the Rishis and Nisa.
And the Gemara is going to say what you said, but first the Gemara entertains all the possibilities. Is it possible that it went to a different Gadish? It went to a different haystack, not the owner of the coal, not the owner of the cookie. He ate the cookie in somebody else's Gadish. The way I said the whole story was that he was making a barbecue and all that thing. But if it would be different somebody, it'd be somebody else. If Reuven's dog ate Shimon's cookie in Levi's field, would that be chayiv? Moshe says no. You only chayiv if you ate it in the rishus of the nizik, which we had a chiddush maybe. If Reuven's cow and Shimon's Paris are in Levi's field, and he ate it up, and then Shimon tells Reuben, why'd you bring your cow here? She said, why'd you bring your Paris over here? So he's potter. He doesn't have to pay, even though he had no business bringing his cow in, but you had no business bringing your food in. So if Reuven's dog would have eaten Shimon's charora in Levi's field, he wouldn't be fine. Okay, so we get back to Levi Yaakov. Let's read that.
I saw there a hair would mean the one.
Dafka the nizik. The Gemara understands that Sadach means dafka the nizik. And if it would be in Levi's field, you wouldn't be chayiv. So it must be like Levi Yaakov said. Let's read Dafka begadish the Baal Charora. Okay, so it has to be that he ate it in the field of the owner of the Baal Charora. That Reuven's dog went into Shimon, owns the Gadish over there, and the Charora, and he ate the Charora in Shimon's field. Nice, simple. Everything's good. But the more now see something very big over here, we're not going to see what. Tifshot the pipora kechatzer anizik dami. What is the mouth? The mouth of the cow, the mouth of the dog, is that considered the mazik's domain, or is that considered the nizik's domain? Anybody have an opinion?
The mouth.
The mouth of the cow. The mouth of the cow.
The mouth of the cow.
The cow walked into Reuben's cow walked into Shimon's field.
I would think it's the mazik.
So according to what you're saying, when Reuben's cow goes into Shimon's field and eats up some food over there, and then the Nizik comes and says, "What are you Shane B'Shus HaNizik?" He says, "No, not Shane B'Shus. Shane B'Shus HaMazik, because he put it into his mouth, and now it's in the B'Shus of the Mazik. So I'm putter because he ate it in his own property. He ate it in my property." Would you say that? Did you mean to say that?
No.
You mean to say that?
It
So
doesn't work. It doesn't.
So everybody would say for sure, it's the Rishus HaNizik. You came into the Nizik Rishus. I don't care about your mouth. But the Gemara says over here, you see that the Gemara is happy to see that he sees Rishus HaNizik, and if you came into the Nizik's domain, even though the food put into your mouth, into the cow's mouth, it's still called the Chatzon Nizik Yichayim.
They're assuming that when it's in the mouth, he didn't eat it yet. That's not called.
Eventually, he eats it. Then he ate
Why
it.
isn't it called?
Why isn't it? It's called eating, but where did he eat? Did he eat in the Rishus HaMazik or the Rishus HaNizik? If it's called the Rishus HaMazik, once he got into his mouth, he's standing with Rishus HaNizik, but his mouth, even though his mouth is the Rishus HaMazik, you might say.
His whole
So
body belongs to
Mazik, but he's in the Rishus HaNizik. And the Gemara is agreeing with you, and the Gemara is happy that I brought a proof to this, because here it says that he ate the cookie in the Rishus HaNizik, and he's chayiv. It must be that the mouth is considered the Rishus HaNizik.
Okay.
Like you said, the Chatzar Mazik dummy, because if the mouth of the cow is going to be considered the Rishus HaMazik, my boy Pariftach, Bepuma de boy. Why should it be chayiv if the mouth of the cow is considered the Mazik's domain? So the Mazik should say, what's your bread doing in the mouth of my dog? Okay, so it's so simple. We'd say, what's the question? It's not even a question. I think one makes a big question out of it. It's go for a whole question and try to bring rice, and slug up the rice. And the Gemara comes back to the beginning. Our Mishnah is a raya, because it says in our Mishnah that if the dog went with the charora and ate the charora in the rishus of the bala charora, so he's chayiv. It must be. You don't say that the mouth of the mazik is considered the mazik. Then it'd be potter, which is laughable. Like maybe Yaakov laughed that you're putting what is your bread doing in my cow's mouth? And the Gemara goes, there was a question. The boy who had a question like that, is the mouth of the cow considered the chatzor nizik and his chayiv, was like the chatzor mazik and his potter? The Gemara says, how could you have such havamina? If you're going to say that the mouth of the mazik, the mouth of the cow, is considered the chatzor mazik, so when is the shane ever going to be chayiv? Every shane eats. Every shane eats. So it goes into his mouth. When he says chatzor mazik, yeah, but it's hard to say that's considered the chatzor mazik. Shane, the shane is never chayiv. He always eats in his own domain, which is ridiculous. Maybe according to that side, we said about side is wrong, but according to that side, you wouldn't be chayiv eating. You would not be chayiv eating. Then you eat, it goes into the chatzor mazik, and then you put it. When is the case that you chayiv? Only in cases where it didn't enter the chatzor mazik. For instance, that he rubbed his back on the wall and it fell down, so he didn't put anything into it. He didn't envelop anything, or he dirtied Paris for his own benefit. Rashi says he rolled on it, or whatever the case would be, but he didn't bring it into his domain. But if he would have eaten it, he put it into his mouth. Once it's in his mouth, it's chatzor mazik and his potter. That would be such a tzad, which is again like, how can you say there's no eating?
He said all those things were told us.
Which right, nice, very nice. There's only a told. What's the av?
Yeah,
interesting.
But right now we're not thinking of it.
Nice point. It must entertain the possibility that ubir b'sliacher does not mean that he ate, because if he ate, it would be potter, because it's considered the chatzor mazik, and only if he did these things, which before the Gemara called it a tolda. According to your pshat, you want to say that it's possible that shane is only rubbing against the wall or dirtying Paris, but eating wouldn't be considered shane because of chatzor mazik. Your cases don't fit into the description of shane, because it says, the Gemara brought this right in the beginning that what did I read this pasuk for in the beginning? That's how you know that beer is shame. From this pasuk. We had a shot over there if Gola means the teeth, or it means so, or whatever it means. But over there it says atumo. And the pasuk atumo means until it's completely ended, finished. It's not there anymore. It means that it has to be completely consumed. And when you eat something, it's completely consumed. And that would and then that'll be shame. But you want to say that's not shame. Eating is not going to be shame because it goes into the Chazer HaMazik. It must be dafka rubbing against the wall, and he toppled over the wall, or he dirtied the Paris, but over there the Paris are not completely consumed. It got worth less, but it did become nothing. And so to the wall fell down, but it's still a wall. You can put it up again. You damaged it, but you didn't destroy it completely. And the pasuk is mashma that chain completely destroys. So your pshat is not a good pshat. He's asking a kasha on this teretz. Rav Mori Beid Rav Kana said the case of shame would only be rubbing against the wall or dirtying Paris. Rav Mazifra says that wouldn't be enough for shame because shame has to be completely destroyed. And your cases are not completely destroyed. So the Gemara gets out of it, not such a big problem. The Gemara says, I'll give you cases that are completely destroyed. Abalaka. The Ravina Amar, the Shav Tzalmi, the Rashi Amar, the Pasab Sue. So the Gemara says cases where even rubbing against the wall might be completely destroyed. Shav Tzalmi, Rashi says, means there was some kind of image, some kind of an engraving on a wall, and by rubbing his back against it, he erased it. So as far as the figure is concerned, it's completely destroyed. The Shav Tzalmi, that when he's rubbing against the wall, he erased some kind of image that was on it, and he completely destroyed it. Or Paseb Psue, that was rolling on the Paris, and it caused that it should be so embedded into the ground that it's impossible to get anything out of it, so he completely destroyed it. So the Gemara is supporting the possibility that Shane is not chayiv, because it came to the Chazer HaMazik, it's only going to be chayiv by rubbing, and you want to get a case of tumor, there'll be a case of tumor also over there.
Well, let's pursue.
Rashi says, Rashi has two pshatim over here.
If he's rolling.
With the question of the gears, so pasi with an iron, pasi pursuing with the irons, then it means probably that he stepped on it. But Rashi says it means he stepped on it so deep that it went into the mud, and it's impossible to gather it anymore. A different gears Rashi has is pasi pursuing with olives, and he says that it means completely finished. Sheshafcha mashke b'vula the kalyo pasi. That's the word pasi means just to be finished. That he completely finished it off. Like the word pasu means finished. And the case would be that whatever he did, he completely destroyed.
Perishable.
And it's completely
Strawberry.
and it's completely
there's
nothing worth it. Okay,
Yeah,
so Gemara is happy. The Gemara, what's the Gemara happy about? Not so happy. The Gemara says the case that there's a case, right? And there's no such thing as shame. I mean, no such thing as eating. Eating is always putter because it's Chazer HaMazik. What is your apples doing in my cows? This is ridiculous. I think the Gemara wants us to ask that it's ridiculous that you can't say every shame is going to be putter because what is my food doing in what is your food doing in my cow's mouth? It's because your cow ate it. But no, what is your food doing? You have to understand what's the Gemara want. I'm definitely not saying a shot because the Gemara wants you to get to enjoy it. Tashma. So again, we're looking for this idea: is the paris kechaser mazigana. Tashma. She's a boss a killer. She's a boss a nachash pater. A Mishnah Sanhedrin that if somebody, what is the word? They use the word to sick a dog. What is the word? Is that the word used in proper English? It's to sick. That's it's not a slang. It's a regular word.
Yeah.
So he took somebody, not the owner of the dog, somebody else. How do you say past tense? Sick the dog, or he sicked the nachash on somebody to aggravate it, and that it should bite him. So the one who did that is patur. We're not talking about the owner of the nachash, or the owner of the dog. We're talking about the one who was mishasa, the mishasa. Right. So he's patur because only a groma. He followed indirect. He didn't do directly. Man pater, mishasa pater, but v'chai balakela. The Gemara's b'dayik. The Gemara's later on says it's possible to maybe make imat for this.
For sicking and what? What does that mean?
He caused damage. He sicked it on somebody, and it bit him. The dog bit him. The one who did that is pater, but the owner of the dog is chayim because he has to know that his dog is sickable, and he should have washed his dog that it shouldn't get sicked, and he's chayiv. And the Gemara wants to know, so what happened again? That my dog bit somebody. What is your hand doing in my dog's mouth? Right? The Gemara asked this way. If you say that the dog of the parah, or your animal is considered the Chazer HaMazik, so why should I be chayiv for biting? My dog bit you. What is your hand doing in my dog's mouth? What?
First time we went through it, we know we did that together. You learn Bava Kamma, yes.
Okay. So the Gemara wants to bring a proof that it's Chazer HaNizik, or else you wouldn't be chayiv for your dog biting. The Gemara says no. Not such a good raya because it doesn't say that. It just says pater. This word pater doesn't say who's pater. The Gemara thought that only the Mashas is Potter, the sicker is Potter, but the owner is Chai. But it doesn't have you can say both of them are Potter. You can say that the owner of the dog is also Potter because he says this time, what's your hand doing in my dog's mouth? All we can say not a terrorist. The case will be only that he didn't. The dog, the victim's hand is not inside the mouth, but he stuck out his fangs and he scratched him in a way that it didn't come into the Chaser Mazik. The mouth of the dog might be considered Chaser Mazik, and he's not chayiv for that. The only time that he's chayiv is only if he stuck out his fangs and scratched him without bringing him in, without him entering the out of the Mazik. The Gemara is still upholding the possibility that Fi Kelev is Chaser Mazik Dami and Yipatim. This is fascinating. What does the Gemara think? Tashma. Further, the first case was Shisa, that he sicked the snake. But here, Hishach means he held onto the snake, the snake's head, and he actually put it on the hand of a fellow man, and he killed him. Over there, the case is he killed him. That the snake bit him, and he killed him. So is the sick?
The idea is it didn't go into the mouth of the snake.
It did. It was in the mouth of the snake. Why?
The fangs.
But in order to get his fangs in, how does a snake do? He has to be inside the mouth of the snake.
Okay.
And it says because it's considered that the mashich, the one who caused him to bite, not that he just sicked him on, you didn't just aggravate him but he actually put the mouth on, he'd be chayiv misa for killing the victim. The Chachamim say that he's not chayiv misa. And the question is, why? If you analyze it, the pshat is like this: the Divri of Yehuda, Eres Nachash Ben Shinav Hu Omeid, the Fikach Mashich. They say the Mashich Pasayif and Nachash Pater. The Divri Chachamim Eres Nachash Miasmo Meki. This is a question about how do you call it, the physiology of the snake and the venom. When a snake bites and excretes venom, is it that the snake excreted consciously the venom, or that the venom is there and when you physically press the teeth onto somebody's hand, the venom automatically comes out? Do you have to have the snake consciously excreting the venom, or it happens automatically? If it happens automatically, read holds it happens automatically. The venom of the snake is between its teeth, and it means as soon as you press it down, the venom automatically comes out without the snake doing anything consciously. So you killed him. It's like you took a syringe and you stuck it in. So you killed him. Lafikach mashich b'saif. That's why he's the one who did that is chayiv misa. Saif means the sword. You kill him by sword. Somebody kills is chayiv saif. The nachash part, the nachash, you don't kill the snake because he didn't kill. He does was the syringe that somebody else pressed him. But the bechakam, what? He wouldn't have done anything. The snake doesn't do anything. That's that somebody pressed him. That's Rav Yehuda. That's why he's chayiv misa. And the snake is potter.
Because he did it.
He did it. And the snake didn't do anything.
Isn't there a story about his daughter? There was a snake that was coming to kill somebody, and then it got killed or something.
It's how the Eva Chatzos put the needle in the eye of the
He
snake.
says if you took away the victim from the snake, or they did a detour, the snake has got a commandment to kill. It goes to do its shlichus is to bite. So if it misses the one up there, it will choose another one because it's given to the snake as a shlichus to go and do its.
I'm not sure. Harm. I'm not sure what you're referring to. I can't answer because I don't know what you're referring to. But that's to finish the other side of the Gemara. The way that it works, the physicality, the physical is that the nachash has to consciously excrete the venom. The word make you use as to vomit, but it means to excrete. So therefore, the man didn't kill him. He did bring the opportunity that the snake should kill him, but the snake is the one who killed him. The man is just like he sicked it on. No difference if he put it on his hand or not. He just caused the snake should get aggravated and excreted. But the snake excreted it. That's why we know that the nachash is chayav skila. It's like an ox that gored and killed somebody. So the snake killed somebody. The masha, the person who put the snake on the hand, he didn't kill him. He just was the groma that the snake should kill him. So he's part of Misa, and the snake is chayav. That's the mission over there with the explanation about sicking a snake, sticking a dog, or actually, they were talking about the hishach already. We were talking about sticking was the beginning, now we're talking about hishach. What does the Gemara want? Why should the snake be chayiv misa? In the case that it says that the snake is chayiv skila, the man didn't do it. The snake is the one who did it, but the snake did it by the person's hand being inside his mouth. And we're saying that the pi para, pi nachash, is like the chatzar mazik. So what is your hand doing in my snake's mouth? Which again, for the third time, is we call it ridiculous. How could the Gemara think such a thing? We have to get to a pshat at the end. But the Gemara is asking, if the snake bites, why in the world should he be chayiv? You have time on the snake. If the shark gores with his horns, we also said about the shark biting. Okay, but here it says a case of a snake biting, and the snake is chayiv misa because he killed. But if you say that the mouth of the snake is considered the domain of the mazik, so what is your hand doing in my snake's mouth? Which, of course, the Gemara wants us to laugh at this point. How could it be such a thing? But the Gemara is taking this thought again and again, that if it must be that the snake's mouth is considered the chatzar mazik, because if it's chatzar mazik, it'd be potter. The yamar pipar chatzar mazik dami. If you say that the cow's mouth is considered the mazik's domain, let him tell him, what is your hand doing in the mouth of my snake? That's the Gemara's kasha. Again, to prove that pipar chatzar nizik dami. The Gemara says, as far this kasha is not a kasha at all, because if someone comes into your even the mazik's domain, even literally the mazik's domain, and the mazik's shore would kill him, he's also chayiv misa. So this kasha is not a kasha. The whole thing we're talking about chatzar nizik, chatzar mazik as far as shame, but as far as being chayiv for killing, so even if the nizik came into the mazik's domain, it says beware of dog, and he came in, and the dog killed him. Also, the dog's going to be chayiv misa, even though he had no business coming in. So this kasha wouldn't be a kasha, even if you hold pi nachash. Then you can tell the law minan. This halacha doesn't apply to killing. Killing means that you're going to kill the snake. We're not tamer. How do you know that? The Tanya, someone came into another person's domain without permission. He walked into his chatzar without permission. The nakho shor shabalabais, and the owner's shore killed him, gored him. He killed. Still a shor b'skilo. The owner is part from kofar because it wasn't his responsibility. He came into my chatzar, but still we're going to kill the ox. My time, my boys. Why is the owner part from paying kofar? Usually, when somebody shore kills, he has to pay kofar. He doesn't pick off a why, because why are you doing it in my rishus? So the shore also, why did you kill the shore? Shore nami lemule my boys b'shusi. Why did we kill the shore? Let him say he shouldn't have come in. What's it my fault? Why is it my shore's fault? Why did you kill my shore for? What do you see? Now then you can tell the law arena. But you see what you see from here, that as far as killing, you don't say this ptor, you did the chatzar mazik. You see the shore's chayv chatzar mazik. End of the sugya. Fascinating sugya. What happened? The Gemara has 3 cases, I think, that the Gemara was talking about. You say pi para chatzar mazik dami, pi kelev chatzar mazik, pi nachash chatzar mazik dami, and the Gemara says all other cases we have no proof. We could say that pi para is ke chatzar mazik and you potter. The only case you're going to be chayiv shein would be in a case where it didn't go into his mouth. He just rolled on it or dirtied it, pushed it down. But if it would have been that he went into his mouth, chatzar mazik. Also, the what else do we have about biting? The dog bit or the snake bit. All these cases will say that it's chatzar mazik. And the Gemara is finally happy in our case, and everything boils down to our Mishnah, that over there it says that you ate the charora in the field of the Bala Charora, the Bala Gadish, so you chayiv, even though it went into your mouth, he ate, and it came into the mouth of the Bala Kelev, and you see it, you're still chayiv. You see chatzar nizik dami. So that's the Gemara, and it seems like fantastic, fascinating Gemara, that the Gemara entertains the possibility that always we say, what's your hand doing in my animal's mouth? How could he say such a thing? So without any explanation, we leave it like that. Like there's a Tais over here talks about.
The answer seems to be to that is that the dog that bites, that sticks its mouth onto the person. It's the snake that sticks its fangs onto the person. It's not that the person puts his hands in the fang.
Right.
It's not the hand that puts his hand.
For sure,
He doesn't do that.
Right. So what's the Gemara? So you're asking.
He's scared of the
So,
dog.
so you're asking, what's the Gemara talking about?
Yeah, what's the kind of very much?
That's the kasha. That's the kasha. That's the way to say it. What's the Gemara talking about? Doesn't make sense that he should be potter because he came into what's doing in my mouth. So Tyson says for sure that's what the Gemara means. That it's talking about a case where he can't answer. Why did your cow take my paris? Why did he put his mouth over my hand? Why did your snake put his? Of course, it's talking about a case where you can't say that because it wasn't his. Because it was somebody else's fault. If it was the cow's fault, it was the dog's fault, it was the snake's fault that he ate somebody else's thing, then for sure he's chayiv. That's no question. The question is in a case where it wasn't his fault either. Taisus has a case. Taisus invents a case that it was a cheroshot of a katan or somebody else that you can't blame. That he's the one who made the shidduch between the mouth and the peris. He came a cheroshot of a katan, put somebody's peris, put the nizik's peris into the mazik's mouth. So then you have to talk about chatzar mazik, chatzar nizik. That's how Taisus seems to say. That's what the Gemara is talking about.
That's going to be by all the cases.
All the cases, all the cases. That
someone put the hand
and if it's the nizik that did it, Muhammad himself also will say, then for sure he's butter. Because you stuck your hand into my cow's mouth, into my snake's mouth, what do you want? The case will be that a third party, somebody else did it, and nobody's to blame. So the question is a chatzar nizik, chatzar amazik? How do we get into the whole subject about taking from one rishus to another rishus? Where does that come up? The whole thing we spoke about.
that would be an easier case. The taka then put it in. That's what the Rebbe started saying in the beginning. When the cow started eating, so I'll put it into his mouth. For that, it's not chayiv yet.
So then
Then
we're
we're
going
put it in his mouth and taking it into different.
and then we're going
Taking it out,
to
it's
bring
not
our
chayiv.
sukkah. They're going to bring our sukkah now. This is another pshat or is it the same pshat? I'm not sure how this goes now. I'll just introduce another concept now. We talked about keren, shein, regel, all kinds of ways that an animal is mazik. New question. What if a dog came, and took something from the chatzar hanizik? He didn't need it.
No.
He stole it. But he didn't need it. And now, let's say, I don't want the case be, he put it into the street and a car ran over it, something like that, and it's gone. But he didn't eat it, he just stole it. What do you say about that? Is that called, is he chayiv? Could you chayiv the dog for stealing? We know it's a dog, a shore is chayiv for keren, shein, regel. It's a chayiv for stealing. So you're not chayiv for your dog stealing. Anybody asking about that? It's not chayiv for your dog stealing.
No,
Chayiv.
I think a lot of times a dog will take something, like this dog with the Gaddish. He picked it up and then he was going to eat it somewhere else.
So now, that was so. I wanted to introduce this case with first my case that he didn't eat it at all. He just stole it. Was he chayiv? Are you chayiv for your dog stealing?
Well, it could be that he took it to eat it, so that's part of eating it, and then something happened and he dropped it.
Let's say he just stole. Let's say he gave it gana, a killer of gana. He does the gana. Let's say, just for argument's sake, if he's chayiv for stealing, keren, shein, and regel, it doesn't say chayiv for your dog stealing. It could be not chayiv. Now we're going to your case. Let's take it as a possibility. You're not chayiv for your dog stealing. Now the case was that he took it from the chatzar nizik, he took it outside, and he ate it outside, and he ate it outside. He ate it in rishus harabim. What do you think about that case? We know that shein rishus harabim is pater. If he would have found food in the street, is pater. If he would have eaten the food in the chatzar nizik, is chayiv. He found it in the chatzar nizik. He didn't eat it over there. He took it someplace else. Rishus harabim, he ate it over there. What do you say about that case? If you want to chayiv, you would think for sure he's chayiv. Right, but why? Because he took it from the chatzar nizik,
Right.
and then he said wherever he eats it.
Somewhere.
But
He was
When
eating
you
it
took
at the.
When he takes it out, you say, "Hey, I'm not chayiv." Right?
And now we're
Now
Yeah,
he can eat it.
What if
Eat it
he's
somewhere
standing in
else.
the Shusarabim and he ate something that was in the yucky?
no, that's a very
No,
complicated.
rather, his
Don't make it on the border. He went into the chatzar nizik and he picked it up. If he would have eaten it over there, it would have been chayiv. Shein b'rishus hanizik. But he didn't eat it over there. He took it out, mamish into the street, the whole body's in rishus
intention was
harabim.
to eat it.
Yes, but he ate it
At the
outside.
time it was in the.
He ate it rishus harabim. He ate it rishus harabim. So everyone's saying that it should be chayiv. But not so simple, maybe. Maybe because the fact that he took it from rishus hanizik was only stealing, and the place where he ate it was rishus harabim. And even though we know how he got it over there, but he ate it in rishus harabim, maybe a pater. It seems to be the halacha that you pater.
Wow.
That's a big kiddush, right?
Big
I think it's way to Gemara that way. But then he ate it in the mouth. It's way somewhere else.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense. The case of the Gemara, you start to go with Taisus that it wasn't his fault, or
I'm not sure if he was.
because we got all this from Taisus, no?
Yes.
And so
Because even with stations,
it's still
wants to say that's why it happened somewhere else.
even with what did Taisus say again that it was somebody else. It was
Someone
Cheshet
else put it in his
B'Katan.
mouth.
And then the question is it considered chatzar mazik chatzar nizik? If it's considered chatzar mazik could be put the same way that if he would have eaten mamish chatzar mazik, he would have gone to the chatzar mazik, or if he would have gone to rishus harabim That's like the hanacha. That's the premise that he's put.
What about, can I ask you a question that if a gunner comes and steals somebody's cow, okay, or a sheep, he takes it out, and if he's found, he says, I didn't take it. And they find it, he's got to give money back, right? He's
A
gotta
person
pay.
that kind of
But if he shafted it,
why are we
he's got to
going?
pay
Why,
4 and 5.
I'm not sure why we're going there. Where are
Tell
we
me why.
going? Where are we going?
Because we see that the human took it out of the
You're chayiv for stealing. A human is chayiv for stealing.
okay, 1-on-1. But now he even shafted it and ate it.
What does that have to do with us?
And then he's got to pay 4 and
where,
5.
where are
So
we
why
going?
are we puttering the dog? We didn't putter the man.
Yes, we know a person is chayiv for being a ganav, and we're saying that a dog is putter for being a ganav. There's no chiv on a person for his dog stealing. I don't know what the whole time. We said one simple thing, and you're questioning why it should be that way, but it's nothing to do with the dollar hey. But a person is chayiv for stealing, and would entertain the possibility that a dog is putter for stealing. That means that the dog is chayiv for karen shena regular.
So you said that dog's always.
A dog is not chayiv for stealing. And that's not such a hard thing to say because Torah doesn't say such a thing. Torah says karen shena regular. Is a dog chayiv for taking out stealing something and putting it in the street, and it's not karen, it's not shane, it's not regular. He stole. I don't know why did he do it. Maybe he wanted to eat it, but he didn't eat it. I'm not sure, but that seems to be a given that he's not chayiv for stealing. And now the question is, if that's not a harder question, if he did want to eat it, but he took it out from the place where the Rishus and he brought it to Chatzar Mask. He ate it in the Rishus Rabbin. Shem Rishus Rabbin is putter. So the owner of the dog, the cow says, he ate it in Rishus Rabbin. Yes, but he took it from Rishus Yachid. But the taking is not, you can't be mechayiv for taking it, only for eating it. And he ate it in Rishus Rabbin. I'm also surprised. I don't think I'm not surprised.
By the way,
I would think for sure that he did it.
He had a fence there. He burrowed his way in there.
No, you're under the Gemara.
No, I know I'm there, but
no.
I'm saying that it's not. My stuff was shomer. My food in the house was shomer. Okay, but he came into my property and he burrowed.
Well, a case where he would have been chayiv for eating in the Chatzar HaNizik, whatever the case is, he would have been chayiv for eating the Chatzar HaNizik. He didn't eat it over there. He took it out. He said, "Take out." What do you go? You go to the restaurant.
He's embarrassed
eat in or to eat
out.
out. He wanted to eat out, so he took the whatever he got and he ate it out. He ate out. So the Tosfos seems to say, and I think that's the halacha, that he's putter. If an animal took something from the Rishus HaNizik and ate it outside, his putter is called Shein B'Rishus HaRabim. Based on that, so Tosfos is saying that if you say that if it wasn't the fault of the mazik when he ate it, even the Chatzar HaNizik, if it will be a case where somebody put it into his mouth, so if you say Chatzar Paruk Chatzar Mazik Dami, it'll be as if he took it into his own domain and he ate it over there and he's put. The Gemara comes out. This is all to explain the Gemara's how what the Gemara think. At the end, it comes out Paruk Chatzar Nizik Dami, and the question is, why does the Gemara see in our Mishnah more than any other place that talks about? But the Gemara comes out Paruk Chatzar Nizik Dami. But that doesn't, and he's going to be chayiv if he eats in the Chatzar Nizik. But this big chiddush came out that if he would take it to Rishus HaRabim, he would be patur. That's a huge chiddush in Shein. Shein Rishus HaNizik is chayiv. Shein Rishus HaRabim is patur. If you took it from the Chatzar HaNizik and took it out and ate it in the Rishus HaRabim, it seems he's going to be patur.
Like you're gonna have to show us, like he took it out and ate it right away, or he put it down into the Rishus HaRabim and then ate it. Let's say he put it down, then I could hear more, because on the taking out itself, you can't be mechayiv. Now it's finished. Now a new story happened.
He ate
The
it.
dog ate it from the Rishus
But if he took it out in order to eat, then he ate it right away. You see what he wanted to do. He saw the owner coming, so he ran and he took it along with him. And everyone was, I don't know. I'm surprised at the whole thing that they should be putter in this case, but it seems that he's putter, and Tosfos' whole midon is if you ate in the Chatzar HaNizik and the mouth is considered the Chatzar HaMazik.
And we're also talking about no damage to it. Like if there were damage, as soon as like a dog picks something up, the saliva and stuff, you might say, you already eat it.
Then
So
that's
it
good.
has to be a case where nothing was damaged.
Yeah.
So that's
No Gemara.
no. They just sometimes they were translate. They may change a word or
A story. Kind of easy debate. Tarbu. There were mafsidi later of Yosef. There were the goats of Rashi has a certain family that
Easy is the name.
easy as goats.
Oh, the word goats.
A's. The goats of the family of Tarbu. The Tarbu family. Tarbu family had goats.
Okay.
And they were ruining of Yosef's Paris. So Yosef lived nearby. And the goats of the family Tarbu would come in and ruin his Paris. They eat his Paris, regular, shame, whatever they do. So he told Abaye, Rabbi Yosef told Abaye was his Talmud. Zil Emalu Lemarayu, they're listening. Tell their owners, tell the family Talmud, they should watch their sheep, their goats. They shouldn't come into my field. They'll be mazik, shouldn't be regular. Amalei, Amay Ezel. So Abaye said, why should I go? It means it's worthless to go to them. The Zilna, I'm really Ligdo Mag, they're Ba'arid. Because if I'm going to go tell them to watch their sheep, the goats, they're going to tell me why to make a fence. You want me to watch my goats? You have an open field that has no fence around it. That's where my goats are coming in. Make a fence. It's your problem. What would you say if you'd be?
It has a timer because it's the same thing as the dog who goes into your field if you don't and does damage. He takes the
We're talking about a new subject now. We want to know.
I understand, but I'm
No.
saying that the problem is that the sheep comes or the goats come into the field because there's no fence. Why do you expect him not to come in? That's where the goats go, wander.
We never said that a person's potter, a person whose dog goes. We didn't say he's potter. We said it's even chayiv, even if he borrows under, he's also chayiv. We didn't say that the person is potter for his dog because there's no fence. On the contrary, we said it's chayiv even if there is a fence because dogs borrow. But if there's no fence, you're chayiv. You have to watch your dog. You have to watch your dog. You shouldn't go into somebody else's field. Yeah, they came with a timer. They didn't say the timer. Abaye said that's what they're going to say. They're going to say, of Yosef, you don't have a fence around you. If you have a fence around you, okay,
Then so you expect to keep your then the goats will be Mamela won't come into my field.
Yes, but if you don't have, they won't go into your field. But if you don't have a fence, find somebody that by goats coming into your fence, make a fence. Into your field, make a fence.
Right.
What?
It's chutzpah.
It's chutzpah.
It's chutzpah. We know that the Avos muzzled their animals. They didn't say build a fence with my animals. It's chutzpah.
And how about
It
as
seems
far as
like
the
the
Set around the shoulder, like with the kids. I was saying, I think it's not. Mama, tell her to put something up, so then they'll know not to go in. You expect them not to.
No, I had this question. Is a person not allowed to bring his kid to a place they might cause damage? Could you bring your kid?
The stores.
Yeah.
All the candies in the front. When the kids go in, they wreck the place. And wait, tell them not to touch the candies. Don't put the candy.
They know they're gonna sell it.
They want
They're
exactly.
gonna sell a ton of candy there.
It's here in the back.
Especially
There
if they
must be a
grab a
backstory
bunch.
about this family. That this family, Abaya was saying, not the halacha, but that's the way they are.
Yeah, that's what they're going to say. But the Gemara doesn't take it like that. The Gemara takes it like it's a serious thing that they're not. If you don't have a fence around your field, you can't have a complaint against the owner of the goats because they'll go in because there's no fence. Make a fence.
They're eating. They want to eat.
But then the question is going to be so.
But it's Rishus Yachid. They're going to.
No, they're going to be potter because they're going to say there's no fence. Rishus Yachid is only potter if you made a fence.
Oh wow!
Chayiv.
Is that a cloud? Is that a
Chayiv
cloud?
if you made a fence. You only chayiv if you made a fence. Then why did my goats go in? But if there's no fence, of course my goats are going to go in. It's like Rishus Rabbin. What do you want? They know no trespassing sign. They see that there's open field, so they walk in. Huge chiddush. That Shein B'Shus Rabbim is potter, and Shein B'Shus Yachid is also potter. Only there's a fence. But the Gemara is asking if what he's saying. When is Shein Chayiv? When there's a fence. If there's a fence, then there's no case of getting in.
Very good
What?
How will you find a
You
king?
find a case Shein is Chayiv because if you didn't make a fence, you're potter. If you made a fence, you can't get in. The answer is B'Shachatra that they borrowed. The only case is going to be that the cow and the goat and the sheep, the corn, everything, they all borrowed over under the fence. But if there's no fence, they're
Then
potter.
he is fired.
Then he's
I'm
fired.
trying to say that's the case of the dog. That he borrowed. The guy did his job. He put up a thing, and he took out the dog. Took out the gafali. This is the same concept here. That the sheep is higher because he borrowed.
And what if there be no fence?
There's no fit. I can understand very well that he's not fired.
Okay. You're taking a big stand. You're taking a big stand. That all the cases of Shem B'Shus Yachid is chayiv is only if there's a fence.
I think it makes sense.
Doesn't make sense to me.
Huh?
Then why did the Avos? I don't know if it's Midrash.
Right, but we'll say that as a midas
It's about a very high madriga in the world of
Oh,
FK. It was a world of FKers. Everybody was everything
of
but.
course they'd be butter, but they didn't want to do that.
in Ami the Nafal Guda Bavelia.
Why were they out in Yaakov and nobody else was?
Inami did not feel good about it. Another case that happened is that the wall fell down at night, and it wasn't the responsibility of the owner of the field to. He didn't know about it. He made a fence, and then the fence fell down. And then and he wasn't able to find out about it. So then, if your goats come in, so then you're responsible because I did what I'm supposed to do. Even though the Bala goats could say, I didn't know that it fell down. That you're supposed to know. That much you're responsible to make sure those goats don't go into a field that has no fence, even if it's a surprise that there's no fence. Yesterday there was a fence. Okay, the Gemara is finished.
But here Rabbi Yosef didn't ever have a fence. It wasn't a fence.
First didn't have a fence, and Abai said it's a waste of time to say that they should wash their sheep. They're going to say they're potter. Yeah, that's an amazing Gemara. 2 lines.
Is it a halacha?
So now who's halacha like? So the post can look at it like a machokas of Ayin of Yosef, and Taisus passes like Rabbi Yosef.
No.
You surprised?
Even without him.
Property,
Because we know the nature of animals. There'd be a dog, there'd be a
So
sheep.
watch
there'd be a cow,
watch
there'd
your
be
so
an
watch your animal. I should watch your animal. I should watch my parents. You watch your animal.
Yeah, well, we've said many times over, yes, you have to watch animals. We've been learning that.
Yes, watch your animal.
Watch your animal,
No.
watch where it goes. Even though they're
You're going to the wrong side. You took the wrong side. But okay, you go ahead, watch your animal. So he
no,
doesn't.
but this is beyond. This is beyond because there's if the animal can go is
So
the
watch your
animal's
animal.
an eater. He doesn't ask questions about.
So the
damage.
owner is a man, is a human. So watch your animals. You don't have tanis on the goat. You have tanis on the owner. Why didn't you watch your goats? He says because you didn't have a fence. He says you watch your animals. So that's machlokas. Seems to be machlokas. Who's the chiddush? Okay, you have machlokas. Who's the chiddush? But Taisa says Rav Alfis Pasuk Rav Yosef. Taisa says that the Rif Pasuk is like Rav Yosef and not like Abaye. And the Rif, yeah, Rav Alfis. And he says Abaye himself was just being matcha that but he doesn't really mean it. Maybe. The dichuya, like he's just pushing away. He's pushing away. Taisa even starts off that maybe Abaye was.
He doesn't want to go to the neighbors.
That's what Taisa says. Oh, you didn't. Abaye didn't want to go. Maybe he didn't want to start up.
He didn't want to go. He's never have being basement. He didn't want to
Well,
go.
buy it. You want to
Oh, you didn't put Abaye. Shalom Yechafas Leilach L'Sham. Taisa brings rice. Other rice that he says that you don't find such a thing that he has to make a fence. So according to what Taisus Paskins, and that's how it says in Shulchan Aruch, that even if the Nizik did not make a fence, you have to. Right.
On the best, then I would say I would go
like a vine. One more Gemara. Machriz the Yosef. You tell me Rabba. Either Rabba or Rav Yosef. I'm not sure who's the one who announced this. Machriz is like announcement, cruise. The Salkan La'elin or the Nachman Tata. Everybody should know this. Those who goes up, those who are going up, those who are going down. These all the travelers. What does Rashi say about that? Those that are going up from Teres Yisrael, those are coming down from Yisrael to Babel. Everybody should know this following Allah. Everybody should know the following Allah. Going up from Babel to Teres Yisrael, going down from Yisrael to Babel. Hani easy the shuka. If you have goats in the shuk, which means that they're all made to be shechted. They're on deck for a sheep. They're going to be slaughtered. They're mafsidi, and they are ruining people's fields. And
people's fields, not there in the ship, but
they're roaming. They're waiting their turn. And meanwhile, there's a yeah. Masrin and Bemarai trade losses. We warned the owner 2 or 3 times to watch his goats. Inside his sights. If he listens, that's good. Below, if he doesn't listen, and they keep on damaging people's fields, we tell them, Tib Amaskasa, the Kabel Zuzach. So Maskasa, we're talking about the butcher shop over there. Rashi says, means you'll get your Amaskasa, I don't know how to pronounce it, and get your money. It means that we're gonna shecht them. We're gonna shecht your sheep and you get the money for the meat. We're not gonna let them continue roaming around and damaging people. And you're going to shecht them in order that they should stop damaging, and you'll get your money.
Sheep were there for what?
To be shechted.
To be shechted for goat, not
for meat. And the Rashi says that they would like to wait till the market day. There's more money on the market day, but
we're going to go ahead and shecht them.
We're going to shecht them for you, and we're going to give you your meat. You'll pick up your meat at the counter. Where are my goats? Your goats are on the counter. And it's worth meat on. And he would have liked to save it a couple of days till the big Erev Yontif. Everyone's buys meat for expensive price. But we shechted it because they're damaging. You're not taking care of them. So the question is, what were they damaging? They were damaging Rishus Harabim more than Rishus HaNizik. What were they doing?
Well, it's in it.
Rishus HaNizik.
That's what I would think.
And therefore, so he's going to pay. He's going to pay. Yeah, then he has to pay. So what's the problem? What's the problem? He's going to pay.
She would rather that.
He'd rather have his payers than the payment. That's what who says? Tosha says. Tosha says that damaging. Yeah, I don't want to go to court case. Until you collect it, takes a long time. So even though the owner of these goats is going to have to pay for the damage, but I don't want him to damage and pay me. I want he shouldn't damage me, and he's not listening. So we're going to shecht his goats. It's the new case. Started over here. How easy the shuk the mafsidi, the goats in the shuk are ruining people's things.
Right.
So Tosha says in the Rishus HaNizik, and he would have to pay. So we're going to shecht the goats. So Tosha says that's only because someone says it's only because he was going to shecht them anyway. But it's not a law to shecht down somebody's goats because they're damaging. He's paying. But if they're only to be shechted anyway, it's only a question of getting the difference of the better price on the market day. He'll shecht them earlier and give you your meat. But if he wasn't planning on shechting them, he's using them for other business. He's using them for milk, whatever it is. Then we're not going to shecht. It's a big loss to him. That we don't do because he's going to pay. He has to pay. There's another way to learn the Gemara that they were eating in Rishus Harabim. Goats eating in Rishus Harabim, so they're putter, right? So Rashi learns even in this case also we're going to shecht his goats, even though they're putter.
Right.
Because they're doing damage,
Damaging.
which is a chiddush because it's really putter. Shem Rishus Harabim is putter. What do you want? Get all these stuff away. So that's what Rashi learns. But as far as Allah, I'm not sure. Rashi says Rishus Harabim. Feel Rishus Harabim. Tosha doesn't say it. Tosha seems to say that's talking about Rishus HaYachid, and they're going to get paid, but he doesn't want to get paid. Rashi says Afilu Rishus Harabim. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean that. That was a mistake. Afilu Rishus Harabim. And where's Tosha over here? I forgot they're going to pay. It means that doesn't know Rishus Harabim. According to Rashi, he's not going to get reimbursed. According to Tosha, he's going to get reimbursed. He says, I don't want to go to the Torah. I know Edim. And then Tosha says, like I said before, only if they're going to be shechted anyway. But if they're all made for milk and other things like that, so then you can't shecht them. You have to just get paid. Get your money. Go take it to Torah. Okay, Adkan.
When do you say that the watch or camera always in cages? You want your things to be in this, go make a little cage. And it's already no kids to allow out of fat flower plots onto the street. Kids, no one to run in the street.
Oh,
No kids under.
my courtyard.
No kids under 5.
They have such a sign?
They should.
They should.
No, I remember the store in New York that said no kids under the age of felony age. I hear
The
that.
person's not gonna pay with his kids break.
I know, that's for sure. That's.
You take a kid to the supermarket, they let you bring in your kids.
Right.
Then the kids.
Are you allowed to?
You're not gonna pay the MS.
Right.
Now take a different case. Are you allowed to bring your kids to school? And sometimes are you allowed to?
So
Hachila, you allowed to bring your
school
kids?
is not a place to bring kids. Well, I'd say in the street is a place for kids, a store, I think that they do want people to come with kids.
Yeah,
Sure, don't bring the kids.
off the counter and then the kids have to pay for it.
Oh, so they're even happy.
The kid cries, I want the kid, I want the kid.
But the store owner, you ask him, should I bring my 5-year-old to the store? They're gonna say, yeah. Now,
It's worth his life. What's the whole sugya? That's the sugya in Bava Basra. I'm not sure what it's talking about over there. It's not talking about public cases. It's talking about like two neighbors and stuff like that.
But there could be
There's
other,
such a thing.
I hear there could be other cases also. You're going to visit a relative. You want to bring your kids along. On the way on the building, they knock down a few things. Are you allowed to